St. Patty's Day, everyone from Smart Talk. Hey, guys.
Hey, I wish I could speak Irish. Aaron Go Brawless. I don't
That's
know.
the one. Aaron Go Brawless. I remember that.
That's the pandemic version. And yeah, don't mind the cat in my lap. But yeah, Aaron Go Brawless a lot this year, not just on St. Patrick's Day. Just saying.
I love it, and I love it the way Melissa. Are you Irish? Because I am Irish, and I am being a bad Irish person today. Only thing green on my back on me is my background. I couldn't find a green shirt to save my life today.
Yes, I'm not. I am not Irish. I'm English. I'm their enemy. But I did have. I mean, this even says Happy St. Patrick's Day.
I love it.
I got the bat and the shirt and the mark. I'm just looking really hard. Am I colorblind or you just not?
Where's your green?
Any?
I have it in the background.
And you know what?
I don't hear it.
I feel bad. I have a couple of really cool green t-shirts and two of them I actually got in Ireland.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Should I go change?
That's all right. You own them. So, you've been there. I've never been to Ireland. So there you go.
And it's cool.
Yeah.
I can't wait to
go. I want to go. So bad I want to go. Because I am Irish. And look at me. I couldn't, like I said,
find anything. And I'm just going to jump in here real quick. Mark, I want to hear about Ireland, but Aurea, don't worry about it. Mark, do you notice that every time something comes up, Aurea is that nationality? That she's Italian, that she's Irish.
It's happened several times.
Right.
She's African American.
She's something else.
Yes,
not that she's not, because, we're all kind of hybrids and kind of mutts. Americans are kind of mutts of something, but
she's got it
that's a running joke now is, not only her Emmy, but the fact that Aurea, like you can say the most random, place. And Aurea's like, I'm that.
I'm me. McGarry, okay, my husband's Irish too, but I'm actually part English too. English, Irish, and Greek. So I'm Greekerish, a little English, a little Scottish. I'm a big mutt. I can't help it.
I was Irish in high school, and then I removed the O from O'Hays, and I just went with Marquez.
Oh my gosh. Well, I do love St. Patrick's Day. So it is great. All right, so we're all Irish today. Everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day. I do have to go put on green before I go out the door because you will get pinched. So I'm going to just tell you a couple of fun facts about St. Patty's Day. Then we're going to talk to you about St. Patty's Day in 2021 because it's a little different this year. And do you all realize that last year, March 17th, the pandemic hit March 11th, right? And March 17th, St. Patty's Day parades were the first ones to get canceled in the pandemic. And so there was no St. Patrick's Day parade in New York and probably all around the world. That was the first big thing that we got canceled. And we started thinking, oh my gosh, hopefully this doesn't last more than a week or two.
And here we are canceled again in 2021.
Yeah, second year in a row. We're going to talk about it. But the green, if you all didn't know that the green, why do we wear green on St. Patty's Day? Because in Ireland, of course, the landscape is so green and lush that's their main color. And it also says why to wear green. So Mark and I have to watch out right now. We better go get changed soon. Because in the early 1700s, it was thought that green would make you invisible to the leprechauns and the fairies who would pinch you if they saw you. So the point was not to be seen by the leprechauns. That's why you get pinched if you don't wear green on St. Patty's Day.
Oh, well, the fairies I know wouldn't want to pinch me because I'm a woman. Oh, I'm sorry. See what I did there? Sorry.
Sorry. I like that.
But I'm not picking up what you're putting down.
And the good thing though about I know all the big events and all the parties, not all the parties. We know there's not so smart parties going on, but the big parades and everything are getting canceled and all that for the second year in a row. But the Chicago River is green this week. And do you know how long when the first year it was green? What was the first year they made the Chicago River green for St. Patty's?
I'm going to guess 1854.
Oh, look at it. 1850.
I don't know, random. Now, nobody really talks about 1854 as they should.
No, it was a good year.
Good year. Yes.
Actually, it was 1962.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was way off.
Back when?
Exactly. And beer, of course, is the most widely consumed drink in Ireland. And Guinness is the most popular on St. Patrick's Day. So I thought that was neat. And who knows what I love your 4-leaf clovers there, Melissa. I see it.
I never know where to
point.
There we go. I got it.
Oh, you got a 3-leaf.
It's a 3-leaf clover because that's the majority. 4-leaf, it's hard to find. I don't know. I honestly don't know in my entire life, even in elementary school at recess when we would search for them in the field. I don't think I've ever found a 4-leaf clover.
I have found some. Do you know what the average is to find a 4-leaf clover?
What? Like
1 in 10,000.
Oh, jeez.
And you found more than one?
Oh, yeah. I used to have a kid when I used to go to Lake Placid into New Jersey to the resorts, and we would find them. My sister was great at it. You just kind of scope. It's like what was the key, and you would find one. So we got really good. I haven't found one in years.
I looked that hard, and I cut a lot of grass in my day.
I don't know if my eyes would find them anymore. But you know what the 4 leaves are for? What they stand for?
I do not know.
I used to know, and I had to look it up because I couldn't remember, but it's kind of, maybe you'll find this obvious, maybe you know this, but hope, faith, love, and luck.
Oh, I was going to say charity. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Gotta be.
All righty. Well, tell me, you guys, what is different on your end for St. Patty's Day in 2021?
First of all, I just want to say hi to Mark's dog. Thank you for making an appearance. My cat's in my lap. I don't know what it is about the animals wanting to be on the show today, but yes.
Animals are always welcome on the show. I can see his butt. What kind of dog? Oh,
Roscoe's. He's our mom, and we love him.
But I love him too.
He's needy.
What's his name?
Roscoe.
Roscoe Jenkins. All right, Roscoe. Go put a green collar on him for the day.
Now, I want to talk about Guinness really quickly. A couple things.
Oh, it's right behind you.
Guinness is, I mean, if you're a beer drinker, I mean, Guinness is heavy. I don't know if you've ever had a Guinness, but that's a heavy drink. But
I can only have a sip. It is heavy.
And I don't know alcohol as well, so somebody may correct me on this, but I believe it's nitrogen that Guinness uses to froth up as opposed to other beers. But anyway, if you open up a can of Guinness, there is like this ball-like thing that when you open the can, it's released into the beer, and that's what gives it its flavor and its froth. Ooh. And that if you are in a bar, the Guinness handle, that the whole pump is different than the other beers for that reason. They use something different to process as opposed to other beers. So there's a little trivia. I don't give you all the details. I think it's nitrogen, but anyway, that's something that if you drink a Guinness today or tonight, then just cut it up when it's, when you're done, and you'll see that in the can. Also, you need to make your Bailey's Irish floats.
Now you're talking. Bailey's Irish coffee is my drink.
Yes. Well, the float it's a traditional float. You get your vanilla ice cream, right? But instead of like a root beer, you use the Guinness beer and Bailey's Irish cream and mix it all together. And there is your Bailey's Irish float.
Have you ever tried it?
Ooh.
No, I have not. I looked up the recipe for this show and I thought, oh, well, I have something new, a new favorite, because I feel like it doesn't have to be on March 17th to enjoy an Irish float. But if you put like food coloring in beer, you got the green beer. And then if you replace anything with Irish whiskey, you got yourself a St. Patrick's Day drink. I mean, honestly, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, whiskey. You have a St. Patrick's Day
drink. Hey, there's something green.
Drinking green. Yeah, I just noticed that.
Did I have some green?
Yes, some green.
The Diet Dew.
A Diet Dew.
Just put a little bit of Irish whiskey in there and you're good. See, you got an Irish drink.
Oh my God. I don't know if anybody has had whiskey, not whiskey, what'd you say, whiskey and beer together? Mm-hmm. Bailey's and beer. Okay.
The Boilermaker.
Boilermaker,
yeah. But see, I love the Guinness beer when we make our chili. So Tanya makes the chili and we put the dark Guinness beer in, and oh my gosh, it adds so much flavor.
That sounds good.
Yeah. You use the dark Guinness beer for the chili, and it really kicks it up a notch and then some. So yeah, it's so good you can eat it by itself, because I'm not a big rice guy.
Okay.
Loves rice. I like just the chili and cheese, some crackers. Boom.
Now, okay, Melissa, on the opening, you all said that every time we talk about nationalities, I'm some kind of nationality. But you know what? Every time we do the show, Mark brings up food and makes us hungry.
That's
you can relate everything to food. We want to get out of this pandemic because we are coming to your house for a barbecue.
That's right.
Oh,
well, speaking of barbecues, we're going to do the corned beef on the grill. I do the corned beef on the grill, my big green egg.
I know that big green egg you had.
Hey, you got some green.
Thanksgiving. It's a green egg, yes.
Yeah, exactly, right? But it comes out so moist.
Hey,
we get, oh God. And when you slice it, and
I got to come up with
Start
something.
making
I mean,
Rubens.
Array and countries and Mark and food. I don't know. I'll come up with some theme that I got to talk about.
Yeah, you got to have a passion, you know.
She's got a podcast, The Frenzy, if you haven't heard of it. Podcast.
That's so sweet. Yes, there you go. There's a shameless plug, an shameless plug. Yeah.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. The Frenzy, where you listen to podcasts.
And Mark is cooking.
He's cooking, and you're
and I'm Irish.
Your people were doing it everywhere.
But you know what though, when I did go to Ireland, I was actually surprised. We went to Belfast for a hockey tournament when my son was playing at the University of Maine, and we went over and stayed a good long weekend. And we were right there downtown Belfast, across from where they built the Titanic and launched the Titanic. And you know what else is on the Titanic shipyard? The studio for Game of Thrones.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. So, and then the place where the dogs came from on the show, we learned as we're flying back to the U.S. that that location was just south of Belfast, not too far away, maybe an hour and a half. My wife was furious. She was like, I can't believe we didn't go there.
Oh, gotta go back.
Just gorgeous. Yeah, we gotta go back. We're going.
When did you go? What year were you there?
So that must have been 2017.
So not that long ago.
Yeah. And we had a blast.
It's on my list to go.
Again, it's so beautiful. When we took the tour, and then it wasn't enough. Like we needed to see more.
Of course.
So then we went and got a driver to take us around. We saw all this stuff, and it was so amazing, the history. We saw the hotel that during the Troubles, the Irish Troubles, had the Guinness Book of World Records for the number of times it had been bombed.
What?
That's not a world record you want.
Exactly. But there was so much history, and you know, and our driver was telling us he could tell the difference between, you know, a Catholic and a Protestant just by looking at them. I was like, no way.
Oh my gosh.
That just reminded me.
Serious.
That just reminded me of a great show. If you've not seen it on Netflix, The Dairy Girls,
Mm-hmm.
Derry. It's a comedy, but it's about this group of teenagers who grew up during the bombings and during all that turmoil. But it's really,
it sounds like a comedy.
Right, exactly. Well, yes. I mean, there's, you know, some serious themes that go through it, but it is just about the adventures of these teenage girls. And it's almost like Shakespeare. You have to get used to them talking, because if I didn't have the subtitles up,
that's what I do.
Irish accent, it's like,
but
it's such a great show if you get a chance to watch it.
Oh,
if you want to do something Irish at home, watch The Dairy Girls.
I would love to. Since I'm Irish, I'll do that.
Yes.
That's right.
You haven't seen it already.
Right. You lived it, right? You lived
it.
I so want to go. Oh my gosh. I just love it. I love it. I love it. So it's fun. So Mark, you put it back on my bucket list if I ever get to travel again, which I hope is someday soon, to get on a plane to go see Ireland.
To Dublin, and let me tell you something. Like, I was wide awake looking at how green the rolling hills
I've heard.
Irish countries. I mean, it was amazing. And then we drove from Dublin to Belfast. It's about an hour and a half drive on the wrong side of the road with the wrong steering wheel.
Oh God.
That would be,
we had this bus, and like I got drafted to drive because it was 10 of us, right? And so I'm driving on the wrong side of the road. It was just.
It couldn't be any worse than Atlanta. Traffic, right. You know, you can drive in Atlanta, you can drive anywhere.
You had great training. Now, I remember, you know, what's so funny is coming from a small town, you know, somebody from a different state was exotic to me, let alone a different country. And I remember in the Girl Scouts, you know, Ray, when you talked about green, you talked about the rolling hills, you know, Ireland's flag is like green and orange. And so I was in Girl Scouts, and there was somebody's grandmother had immigrated from Ireland. So we made this big theme of a week of Irish, and I had to make this project and all this stuff. And then when I finally got to meet the grandmother, you would have thought I was meeting like the Queen or somebody, because it was like, she's really from Ireland and she grew up in a different country. It was like my first international experience. And
I love it.
My mother kept my projects for the longest time because I was just so enamored by Ireland and this woman. So it was,
that's neat. I love it. I love it. Okay. Well, guys, in 2021, you know, the three of us can get all hot under the collar when all the partying is going on. And here we go again, another national holiday, because it is a national global holiday, of course. I saw these two things and I thought of you guys. I thought I'd just bring them up and see if you have any opinion. Of course, things are closing down all over the place. There's restrictions. Oh, green cup. She's just, I'm just so proud of you. You're just so more Irish than I am.
I like a theme. That's my thing is I like it. Thank you.
It's Green Mountain.
Yes, I do like a theme though. Yes. I'm sorry, Ray. Didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
I need to find some green to hold. Anyway.
Listen, all right. I've got all kinds of green on me. There you go.
So I thought this shirt was fun. Now this shirt's going to mean something different than what you're going to think in a second, but it caught my attention when I saw this article, and it said in Gaylord, Michigan, this place is, it's called the Iron Pig Smokehouse. And it says the cancellations of mainstay St. Patrick's Day celebrations due to the coronavirus pandemic have prompted a new one in Gaylord, complete with t-shirts. Now this is a pub, and they have t-shirts that say, "Kiss me, I'm contagious."
Oh.
Now, wait a minute. There's I said that too, and I opened it up, started reading further, and it said at the end, it says what the shirt's supposed to mean, which people are going to think both ways. I'm contagious because I'm Irish, I'm fun, and we're having a good time. So contagious is part of being the life of the party. But play on words, kind of funny. It can be. And they're going to have limited party at the only in 2021. Kiss me, I'm contagious. I challenge you to see if you see any t-shirts like that around, because I bet it might be a thing. Kiss me, I'm contagious.
Yeah, it's almost like tasteless humor, because we have 500,000 people gone. But, I just think it's too too soon.
See, yeah, the only time that I take the brakes off everything is Halloween. Like, so if you have a very clever pandemic, even if it has to do with a victim at Halloween, I'm going to think it's funny on Halloween, but I'm not going to think it's funny the rest of the year. So,
right.
And like you said, it's like I discourage people from gathering. Like even if you've gotten the vaccine, you're still supposed to wear a mask and still be separated. Like people are just chomping at the bit, but it's like Dr. Fauci came out this week and said, just wait, just give it only 20% of the population has been vaccinated, and we need 70% before we can get back to normal. So,
and we can't get through one holiday. And there's like a holiday every month. Have you noticed that? I've noticed holidays more now in quarantine, because every time there's one coming up, it's like, oh, we're going to get set back. People are going to be stupid.
Well, notice but these holidays, you notice how a majority of these holidays are during the cold, dreary months, because in March in some areas of the country, it's still not spring-like, right?
Yeah, so they're going to do outdoor partying.
Yes, there's not a coincidence to holidays being in the darkest and dreariest part of the year. But people have already, spring break, people are already losing their minds. It's just like
spring break.
National holiday we just had, what's it called again? Oh, All-Star Weekend.
Yes.
We ran around town like there wasn't a panorama going on out here. I can't wait to see the numbers in like a week or two. How many people are just, not down by it.
And I know someone who has a friend. So it's a friend of a friend who lost both of their grandparents recently. So people can still perish from this. So to me, it's a true tragedy. If somebody, now that vaccines are being distributed, if somebody dies now, to me, it was completely avoidable. And it's just sit at home. If you drink at home, there's no DUI. If you need to get drunk on St. Patrick's Day, you pass out on your couch and you don't endanger anybody. Like, just stay.
Have your pod. Remember, there's the pods. People have their family pods that are quarantined and safe. Mark, I know you got a nice little family that you can still see. It doesn't mean you have to be alone in the closet. There's a few people, I'm sure, that are COVID friendly and that are quarantined, maybe just 3 or 4. That's fine. But yeah, going out and being part of the bar scene, even if it is outside. We saw what happened with all the last year, the political Rose Garden stuff, people outside and still they got it. So,
well, there's always a surge. People are traveling. People are traveling this week. It's just,
well, they said this weekend was the highest level of travel that they've seen in airports since we shut down last year.
Really? What did they say? It's not because of St. Patrick's Day. What's it from?
Spring
break.
Yeah.
Spring break. That's what I'm saying. People are traveling.
And I forgot about that. Yeah.
The next 6 weeks is spring breaks.
Look, here's, people just need structure. And here's the thing. The president has said that all adults would be able to have a vaccine by May. We're in March. If you just if you could just wait till Memorial Day, I bet we can travel on Memorial Day. If you just wait till Memorial Day, and then, you know, guns.
How many people do you think are going to listen to you?
Well, they haven't already. These people were traveling. They were traveling for Memorial Day last year, probably. I mean,
I'm just hoping we have a 4th of July. You know, I mean, I'll push that a little bit more, but oh my God.
If we're alive for the 4th of July, regardless of where you celebrate it, you're privileged. If you are alive to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, I mean, that's the thing, is like, I just stop people from dying. That's what I don't want another person to die from this.
The EU is going backwards now. They've had to go to lockdown because they don't have this, the EU, European Union.
Really?
Have the same vaccination rollout that the UK has. So the European Union portion of, you know, Europe is back on lockdown.
And we don't want that.
Right? Because they're seeing these different variants, these different strains, and they're not getting the vaccine rollout like we're getting it here now. And the UK apparently is doing a pretty good job too of getting the vaccine out.
Can I share my not so smart now? Can we dive into not so smart?
Oh, we can. And let me say one more fact. So on a good note, and we will go to not so smart. Savannah is taking a lesson from Mardi Gras, and because they can't have all their parades, and there's a huge Irish community in Savannah, Georgia. I didn't even know that, so I just
got there. The Savannah parade is like the 2nd biggest in the nation, or 3rd biggest in the nation.
Well, I only know about New York City.
Yes. If you have not been to Savannah St. Patrick's Day, y'all need to go. It's a
this year
big deal. It's a big deal.
Yeah, no, I can't go this year. Well, they canceled it, but what the Savannah's doing is what they did in Mardi Gras in New Orleans, and they're decorating their porches for St. Patrick's Day. So a way to have community fun without the parade and show your spirit and get drunk on the porch. There you go.
Yeah.
And Savannah used to, I don't know if they consistently have done it, but Savannah used to do the same thing that Chicago did, where the water was all dyed green within Savannah at the fountains.
I know, I've got to go to Savannah. All right, cool.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot. I only remember part of the trip, but yes, it was a lot of fun.
Why did you only remember part of the trip? I don't understand.
It's all that green beer. It's weird.
Parents watching.
Irish coffee. All right, Melissa, let's go to the not so smart, and let's see who's doing dumb things out there.
All right. So my not so smart this week goes to the states of Texas and Mississippi and everyone else who opened up for the pandemic. So as you talked about that, it's like, this is my not so smart, because the part of the reason we're going to have another surge is because states officially have opened up and said they don't need masks, you don't need any of this, and they put the people who are vulnerable within their states at risk, and also the rest of the country. So my not so smart is for those idiotic states who of course have to be in the southern part of the United States, and makes the rest of us look stupid.
Yeah, not so smart.
Not so smart at all.
I'm not feeling it at all.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense. And again, since we're so close to getting out of this mess.
Yes.
The rush.
So close. The vaccine is here, and we still can. Yes. Whenever my grandchildren, if I have the privilege of having grandchildren, they're like Mimi or Gigi or Granny or whatever they call me. What was it like to be in a pandemic? I'm going to say that it did not bring out the best in humanity.
I'm going to say when they do that to Melissa, Gigi, tell me about it. Just, can we talk? Let's sit down. I have some
it'll be more of a cautionary tale, because this will happen again. There's a rhythm to pandemics. And so if their children end up, passing it down generation, listen to science, do what you're told, have discipline, and you'll get out of it a lot faster than trying to buck the system.
Listen to them not so smart people and how they did it back then.
And if you haven't seen that hour that Nicole Wallace did last week, just paying homage to many of the victims.
Oh, I'm going to see that.
It was one of the most heartbreaking hours ever produced in television. She does the thing at the end of her show every day of Lives Well Lived. And, this was a collection of them.
And where did she have the show?
It was on MSNBC. It was in a special hour broadcast that
everybody should be required to see that.
Yeah,
I don't think people have seen enough of the stories of the victims by the way they're behaving. I think that should be required reading, required watching.
That's why I always retweet the faces of COVID when you see these, precious grandparents, that perished from this thing.
Yeah.
Hey, the one story that stuck with me for all this time is the bus driver in Detroit.
Oh, that broke my heart.
Got on sneezing and coughing. The woman, really? And now this guy is gone.
He's gone. So we showed his picture back in another show we had. We'll show him again.
About that. Yeah.
That was
second
unnecessary.
Second degree murder. I would
Yep.
slap second degree murder charges on a ton of this nation for the way they behaved.
Well, there was did you see the video that went viral last week with the 3 women in the back of the car or the Uber?
No.
Nothing on the guy?
No.
Oh yeah. Just horrific. Horrific. Yeah. We'll have to drop it in. They're sitting in the car.
That's my new hashtag. Is like, if you should be brought up on charges.
Right.
If you didn't wear a mask, if you stopped wearing a mask, if you never wore a mask, you should be charged with second degree murder for a ton of these people that perished.
Especially if you're coughing on people like on purpose.
I want to say that was the issue, was him asking them to put a mask on. Right.
And they coughed on him.
Yeah.
How horrible.
Yeah. I mean, it was awful.
I can't even.
All I want to tell them is that the guy that you voted for lost. It's time to move on. Okay.
Yeah. Hello.
Okay. Hello. All right. Well, on that, let's laugh a little bit more. We go from such deep topics to getting us all ruffled feathers to, okay, let's laugh a little bit more before we go.
I need an Irish whiskey. I need it. Dang. Come on now. It's a holiday. Let's not get sorry.
I want to show something fun. This couple I found on YouTube, and it looks like he does this all day long, every St. Patrick's Day. It looks like they're in like London or something, and somewhere in the UK. And when I first saw this one clip, it looked like, oh my gosh, it's not so smart to do this to your wife. But then watching further, I think they have a lot of fun with this because she'll get him in the end. But watch this clip. It's so cute. Here she is coming out of the bathroom, and there you go.
Yeah.
Look at the face. Her face says it all.
Right.
Here she comes. I love it.
Her face says it all.
Oh yeah. As the camera stopped rolling, we missed the good stuff.
I know.
Yeah. And she often tells herself, and I chose him.
I know.
I chose him.
Oh, and to make it even better, her little boy is an accomplice. So he's like 6, 7 years old, and they're accomplice. Let's get mommy. And they get her at the craziest times. I'll put the link in for where this video is, because at the end, you'll like the ending of it. It's cute.
Give her an Irish whiskey. I mean, that's what we're saying today. It's like, if somebody has to put up with it, give them an Irish whiskey. They'll be all right.
I love it.
Irish whiskey. Speaking of Irish whiskey, mine's not so smart. I'm just going to go ahead and say this right here in Atlanta, right? Because only in Atlanta can we see some of these things.
Yeah.
But take a look at this vehicle, 3-wheeling it down on the connector. I mean, this guy is flying. He's going like 45 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour. The car that's filming this is trying to keep up with him.
That's not so smart.
I mean, how are you driving a car, an SUV, that's missing a front wheel and tire? I mean, it just makes no sense to me, but only in Atlanta can we see this kind of quality content.
You know what? It still got some miles. It's all right. I don't have it. It's miles. It's like the gas thing. It's like, oh yeah, I've got about 30 miles left on that tank. I don't care if it light's flashing. Oh, I'm missing a tire. I got 3 more. I got 3 more.
I'm hoping it's the passenger that's filming. Otherwise, not so smart on both ends for who's filming it if they're driving, and the one that's driving on 3 wheels.
A friend of mine sent that to me. His sister was in a Lyft on her way to the airport, and this guy just missed him.
Really?
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Not so smart, people. Not funny, not so smart.
Nothing good happens at 4:45 a.m.
On 3 wheels.
On 3 wheels.
Let me tell you, getting up, going to the radio station at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, all those years, I saw some stuff, and I was propositioned a few times too. So, I mean,
wait, on the road?
At a red light.
Oh,
at a red light.
I can see that.
At a red light. I was rolling by. This guy in a Jeep asked me to roll my window down. He's drunk. I lived in Buckhead at the time, and that was when Buckhead had all the bars.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked me to roll my window, and he asked me if I gave something.
Okay.
And I said, you know what? As a matter of fact, I don't. Yeah. You're hitting up the wrong girl.
Not on my list today. Sorry.
Rolled the windows up and he drove on. But I did have to call the police on several drunk drivers during my career, because I felt that was the safest thing to do. And my colleagues, most morning show personalities have a 911
harrowing story.
Yeah, and you were traveling that time too, Mark, when you worked at Fox 5.
I had a guy come in head on at me one night on the wrong side of the highway.
There was a whole rash of those wrecks there at the same time I was working, because I had a colleague, same thing. Somebody was heading, coming straight at her. And it was where people were getting on, drunk people were getting on the wrong ramps to the interstate and not realizing they were on the wrong ramps. Yeah. And I remember there was a, conversation about how do we make these ramps clear, for people not to get on the wrong side of the interstate. But yes, I mean, it's
not so smart driving the wrong side. It happens a lot in St. Pete, Florida, because a lot of the elderly drivers that are still there, though, and tourists, and there's a lot of one ways going in St. Pete. So always somebody driving on the wrong way. And I did it when I was in college, brand new down there, because you can get on a one way real fast, real easy. But boy, the interstate's even worse. My gosh, You guys will laugh and we'll finish up. But when I did events back when we were allowed out of the house, I'd do events and I'd come back, and I was driving home one night on 400, and it was, I think it was like 12:30, 1 o'clock. You guys aren't going to find this. Well, I found it surprising, but not surprising. It happened to me. So I'm driving along. There's like nobody on the road. It's only 12:31, but it's like a Tuesday night or Wednesday night. I did an event. I'm driving and I'm going probably 70 miles an hour. I don't try not to go over 80, but I'm going pretty fast. And 70 kind of fast, 70, 80. And I'm going down and I see something. I see two small lights coming at me, and I'm on the interstate going fast, and I'm seeing something. And just as I see it, I go in the other lane and I pass by. Literally a deer was standing in the middle of 400, just deer in headlights.
Oh,
right? And if I didn't see him though, but imagine me hitting him 70, 75 miles per hour. And if I didn't see him,
you wouldn't be here to talk about it.
No, I mean, I love it. I would be crushed what happened to him, but that would be like a horrible impact. But I'll never forget, it was the craziest thing. At 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, there's a deer like not walking across. And then I literally standing there.
Deer doesn't understand. The deer doesn't understand,
I got him 400. I mean, that's something. Well, I mean, they just walk around, but that was scary. That was scary. All right, guys. Well, on that note, be safe, drink responsibly, drink at home. Don't get together yet. We're almost there. We're almost out of this thing.
Give it a couple months. Just something celebrate St. Patrick's Day at home. There's a lot of go shopping at your normal places. There's a lot of sales. People are using this holiday with you being at home. So just spend some money online and drink your Irish whiskey at home, and we'll be back out.
Spend that stimmy.
Yes, spend the stimmy. And money is green. Go spend it.
Yeah, spend the green money.
Spend the green. Support your local businesses. Buy green. And don't forget, I'm Irish, just in case you forgot. I'm the only one not wearing green here. Well, Mark's not either, so.
I can't wait till the next show to find out where else her family tree. Her branches just extend everywhere.
Mine's just Heinz 57. Proud of it. All right. Have a great one. Happy St. Patty's Day, everyone.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Be safe. Drink green beer.